Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to my Warhead guide in the Lonesome Road expansion for Fallout New Vegas. This guide will showcase and explain all the locations of all 30 warheads dotted around the divide. The warheads around the divide can be detonated and count towards the Warhead Hunter challenge. Detonating all warheads will also grant the achievement Warhead Hunter. Detonating the warheads can also lead to discovering loot and granting access to parts of the divide you wouldn't normally be able to access. As always, there are timestamps in the description if you wish to skip to a particular warhead location, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Before being able to detonate any warheads, you will need to acquire the laser detonator. This is an essential item and is needed to progress through the DLC. First up is the HOPEVILLE area. There are 5 warheads dotted around this area. The first warhead can be found not far from the laser detonator. Head down from the building and start heading south. On an army truck will be the first warhead. Next up, head west from where you detonated the first warhead towards the HOPEVILLE silo where you will come across the women's barracks. Blocking the entrance will be the second warhead. Next, turn east and follow the road from the barracks until you get to a hard-locked gate. Enter through the gate and follow the road through to the left where you will find the third warhead on a pile of debris. Next, before following the road, take the first right, head down the path and take the next right just before a locked gate. Head through the supply outpost and take another right at the very end where you will come across the fourth warhead. Next, head back to the location of the previously detonated warhead and follow the road through. Just past the destroyed building will be the fifth warhead in the back of a truck. Next up is the high road. There are 4 warheads dotted around this area. The first warhead can be found just underneath the crow's nest. Before heading past, you will find the warhead embedded in the floor. The second warhead can be found a little ways past the crow's nest. Simply follow the road through and you will come across the second warhead in the back of a truck. The third warhead can be found at the Junction 7 rest stop just before getting to the end of the high road. However, just before the end of the road, you can look over and detonate the warhead from the high road. Finally, before getting to the Ashton missile silo, take the right hand path to a marked men building. Continue through the area past the truck and the final warhead can be found just behind it. Detonating the warhead will reveal a cache of supplies. Next up is the Courier's Mile. There are 2 warheads within this location. In order to gain access to this area, you will need to fire the missile from Ashton. Once it detonates, it will unlock the Courier's Mile. Once you've entered the mile, take an immediate right past the barber sign and head around into the back of a destroyed building. Sticking out of the debris will be the warhead. Next, head back to the start of the mile and instead enter the ruins of a destroyed building on the left. Get on top of the remains of the second floor and to the northeast you will see the second warhead. Next up is the area just before entering the cave of ABBADON. There are 5 warheads dotted around this location. First off, start at the Sunstone Tower roof. Start on the left hand side and look over the edge. Working from left to right, you can detonate 3 separate warheads from the roof. Next, make your way to the ground and follow the path around where you will eventually get to the 4th warhead blocking the path you need to use to continue. Finally, continue through the path you just made from the previous warhead and stay on the left hand side. Head past the white ULYSSES mark and turn to the right. On a small cliff will be the 5th warhead. Next up is the area just before entering ULYSSES Temple. There are 8 warheads dotted around this location. First up, start at the Boxwood Hotel roof and make your way to the ground floor. Start heading south past the broken sewage pipe and enter a small cave. At the entrance of the cave, look up and you will see the first warhead poking out of the cave wall. Next, head inside the cave and you will need to fight a Deathclaw boss called Roar. Once he is killed, turn around and you will find the second warhead needed to leave the cave. After leaving the cave, turn northwest and keep heading straight and you will find the third warhead by the foot of a cliff. Next, continue past the third warhead you just detonated and head underneath the collapsed building. After heading underneath, look up and you will see the 4th warhead sticking out of the cliff. Next, immediately turn right and look up and you will see the 5th warhead in a cliff. Next, head southeast and make your way up the cliff where you will find the 6th warhead. Continue at the cliff you are on and around until you get to the top of the collapsed building. Turn right and on a small cliff outpost will be the 7th warhead. Finally, turn right and head down the path until you get onto another collapsed building. Sticking out of a rock will be the 8th warhead. The final 6 warheads can all be found at ULYSSES Temple. Make your way to the final confrontation with ULYSSES and just before talking with him you will find the final 6 warheads in this room. And there we have all warheads within the Lonesome Road DLC. I hope you found this video helpful and as always, thank you for watching.